Hey everyone, thank you for joining another episode of GlideChat. My name is Michael Lombardo. I'm the CEO of GlideFast Consulting. Along with me today, I have Michael Yee and Travis Toulson. I'll allow these gentlemen to introduce themselves. Michael?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Michael Yee. I'm the Chief Solutions Officer for GlideFast Consulting. I've had the pleasure of working in the ServiceNow industry almost 15 years now. So I started off as a customer, went live. I've been doing consulting and implementations for the last 9 years or so. So it's been an amazing journey, and I'm definitely glad to be here.
Awesome. Mr. Travis.
Hi, I'm Travis Toulson. I'm the Lead Architect of Emerging Solutions at GlideFast Consulting. I've been on the platform for about 9 years or so and specialize mostly on service portal and custom application development.
The three of us have a lot of ServiceNow experience. I'll tell you, I don't know if I've ever been on the phone with three people with over 30 years combined, but that's pretty impressive. First of all, just want to say it's an honor working with you guys. I love every day working with you guys. You're two of the best in the industry. And thank you for joining us on another episode of GlideChat. And thank you to our audience. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us on Apple and Spotify. So today we wanted to just touch upon, just quickly, discussing ServiceNow roadmaps. Obviously, a big part of GlideFast business is, architecting customer roadmaps and helping them along their journey. And half of that battle is planning, right? So ServiceNow is a very deep and wide platform, and there are many, many workflows and processes that can be rolled in. And the most efficient organization has more workflows rather than none in one platform, right? So I think it's a good topic to discuss. I don't know if Mr. Yee, if we want to maybe give some thoughts on where you were thinking around roadmaps. I know there's really two different types of customers I think we can talk about. One is an existing customer, that maybe has been on the platform for a few years and trying to figure out, what next steps are, leveraging what they have today. And then maybe we can touch upon new customers as well. Where do you start and where do you go? So I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Yee, if you have any suggestions to kick us off.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember my very first implementation as a customer. It was, we went live, and I was talking to my VP. It's like, well, how did the implementation go? And I said, it went great, but we got 500 enhancement tickets. That was the first week because everyone's like, this is such a great platform. We want it to do everything, and we didn't know where to start. We were caught a little bit off guard because we expected some adoption, but we really didn't expect like this avalanche of people saying, we wanted to do this. I have this application, I have this notes application, I have this SharePoint thing, and they all wanted it at the same time. So one of the things that we kind of do here at GlideFast is, as part of our engagement, whether it's a phase 1 or phase 5 or phase 10, is to build that roadmap. And we always call it a living roadmap. So you understand where you are, where you're going. And what that also allows you to do is, we see things on LinkedIn, we see things on YouTube where they go, hey, Travis Toulson just had this excellent blog, great idea. Let's make this the #1 priority. If you don't have that roadmap, you don't know where that ranks with the other scheme of things. So a lot of the times we have that living roadmap so that when someone gets this great idea, we go, well, where does it kind of fall in the roadmap? And one of the things which we constantly do with our customers is we always have these roadmap exercises say, let's take our subject matter experts, our leaders for our ServiceNow platform, get in a room or in a virtual room now and see where everyone's priorities are. And I remember one of the first projects I did with Travis, we basically had leaders, they had little sticky notes, and they had 5 sticky notes, and they were color coded, and they were saying, okay, if you want the blue one, this is worth this many points, you put it on the roadmap item, which is the highest priority to you. But that way we got like a really good idea in terms of what was important to everyone, as opposed to kind of getting detracted over the numerous amount of enhancements that come in on a daily basis.
100%. And as I'm listening to you, I think the biggest driver of where to start, where to target, right? Because that's always the biggest thing is, everybody we get a new toy, right? Everybody wants to play with it. Everybody in the organization believes their process is the most important, right? And they want it first, right? And I think, a good thing to focus on, maybe we can call this number one, is, okay, where can we get the cost savings, right? Because financial decisions drive 90% of a lot of organizations' decisions, right? So is there an application we can eliminate? Is there an application that serves one purpose that we can roll into a larger platform like ServiceNow? I think that's a great point. I don't know, Travis, if you have any thoughts around that. I know your passion, your whole role is really identifying kind of those siloed workflows that, maybe companies are doing an email or doing, in one application. And one thing that always, not to get off on a tangent, but a lot of customers always say, hey, ServiceNow is great. It's the Cadillac. It's a little expensive, but to me, there's true ROI, right? There's true cost savings because you're paying for one infrastructure, one platform, rather than all these different vendors, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I love that first point of look for the cost savings, because I mean, if you paid attention to anything I ever talk about ever, it's measure, measure, measure. But something that Yee brought up, something that jumped in my mind when Yee was talking was that you also want to get a feel of kind of the passion in the room. Where's the heart of the organization? Where's the heart of the people in the organization? Yeah. And I feel like that's kind of what our little sticky note operation elicited out was, okay, yeah, we've got the metrics. We know what the numbers tells us important, but where's your heart? And I know here at GlideFast, we're all about where's the passion and following that passion. And that's kind of what jumped out at me about the sticky note thing. Is it's kind of a measure of where's your passion, where's your organizational drive? Yeah, because you really got to have the buy-in. You really got to have people that want it. So taking stock of that is really important.
100%. And that goes along with it's top down and bottom up, right? Like if we don't have the leadership buy-in that, hey, this is the new platform that we've purchased, we're making an investment here, we're changing the old ways of doing things, we're changing the swivel chair activities, and we're committing to ServiceNow. But and that's a great point, is the passion is getting, okay, not only are we making this investment for financial reasons, right, but we're doing it to make people's lives easier and better, and not to eliminate jobs. I think one big misconception is that ServiceNow and automation is here to replace jobs, right? And it's really not the case. It's really to make things easier so we can focus on more important tasks and get out of email and cut down the time of resolution for cases and incidents and problems and challenges, right? So let's say, maybe I'll turn this over to Yee. So Yee, let's say we have a new ServiceNow customer, the typical journey, and now we are seeing different entry level points, right? Or entry points where, traditionally it's always been the ITSM, the incident management first, but now we're seeing customers, maybe start with HR in some cases, or customer service management, right? And I know with ServiceNow, there's opportunities to get both the customer service management and the incident and ITSM, IT service management, kind of all in one big bang. But in your opinion, if you have a new ServiceNow customer, what are maybe, and maybe we don't have to get too specific, but what are some of just high level suggestions that we can give on how to roadmap and how to prioritize? And I think we all touched upon it. At what point do we put things in that backlog, right? Because you guys know we've all ran workshops. We say, hey, that's great. We're glad you want to do that. But that's like a phase. We're at maturity level 0 here. We got to hold that. So what advice can we give to the community out there of, how to prioritize and how to, put certain things into the backlog?
Right. So that kind of recalls an engagement which I had where we had one customer, they were rolling out CSM. And with a lot of our customers, there was a fixed amount of schedule and a fixed amount of budget. So they kind of had to prioritize. I mean, in an ideal world, they wanted to have a really clean front end, which is a great customer experience. And then on the back end, they wanted to make sure that their customer service agents, a lot of the automation, a lot of the lookups, a lot of the pop-ups, just everything kind of happened for them. But they realized really quickly, we can't do both. We don't have the time, we don't have the money. So what they did, and what we often tell our customers is, what is your business objectives? What is most important to the business? And in that particular case, they were saying customer experience is key. We want to make sure our customers have a clean experience, one-stop shopping. We want to make sure that they're not fumbling around having to do a lot of interactions. And in that particular case, they were willing to, for lack of a better term, sacrifice the internal customer service reps into a phase 2 and phase 3 at the expense of kind of getting phase 1 out. And that was understood, so that when we went through the workshops, we understand, okay, we understand internally you're not going to get your 100% because we can't do that in phase 1 and phase 2. There's not enough money, there's not enough budget. This is what we're going to do for the customers, this is what we're going to do with you. And because we had that alignment, and to what Travis was saying, when it's coming top down from the leadership, it's less of an argument when people say, hey, that's going to be a little bit harder, or you're not helping me out. And with the roadmap, it's saying we haven't forgotten about you. It's just going to be in this other phase.
100%. And, I'll tell you a little consulting trick for those consultants out there. You said it, Yee, is when a customer brings up maybe a use case or something that they think is a high priority, I always ask that exact question. Instead of saying, hey, that's a bad idea, or that's not important, you never want to say that. That's one little tip. But a good way to make them kind of think about that is asking that question. Where's the business value here? Where's the business use case? Where is the business, our community, getting value out of us putting energy and effort into this requirement or story or use case? So that's a great point. And another thing you brought up, I think Travis can help us here, is when you talked about portal, and obviously that's that beautiful front end where our customers can interact with the service management organization, whether that's IT, HR, or even the customers, right? And maybe Travis, I know portal has been so much of your world for a long time. What do you think's more important? And I'm generally curious about this. Do you think having a more robust, easy to use, great, phenomenal experience front end portal for customers and end users first, or building out the back end first and making sure the processes are tight and the services are being fulfilled the correct way? What do you think's more important?
So, I mean, I hate to put it this way, but I think that they are equally important.
Yeah, that's
now, and that's coming from somebody who lives service portal. They're equally important. You can't leave the processes out of it. But I think an interesting take on this is that you have to ask yourself, or another way of seeing this is, where's the best place to put your effort? Just because they're equally important doesn't mean that they're deserving of equal effort.
Yes.
Back-end processes, ServiceNow has some phenomenal capabilities out of box, baseline, ready to go. Plug it in and run. It may not meet the same processes that you were using before, but that's a good time to evaluate, do your processes need to change? If ServiceNow is going around and establishing that this is a best practice and you're off of that best practice, it's a good time to reevaluate those processes and maybe update and modernize to a better solution. Or if your processes are the way they are for a reason, what parts of the existing process can you leverage so it doesn't take as much work? Service Portal, on the other hand, there is so much more effort that you can put and get value out of your Service Portal in ServiceNow. I like to state that, the Service Portal is a customer service agent. Yes. It is, for many people, the first customer service agent in dealing with that part of your organization. Do you want that agent dressed in ratty shorts and an oil-stained shirt, or in a suit and tie? What kind of experience do you want to put forward? The baseline Service Portal is it's a good starting point. It's a good starting point, but there is so much more that just a little bit of effort can make that a beautiful experience for your customers.
Totally agree. And I think you hit the nail on the head as well. I think it's important if we can leave our customers with one thing to take away from this podcast, I would say, don't shoot for perfect day one, right? You're never going to get perfect. And the beautiful thing about ServiceNow is it's never done. there's always more automation. There's always a better experience we can provide. There's always a better UI we can modify. And as long as you're following best practices, as long as you're following the best solution model, you can continue to innovate and continue to automate. So I think exactly what you said, Travis, is we can do both, right? But we don't have to spend 6 months at a time doing it. We can roll out, leverage what ServiceNow has out of the box, add some configuration and best practice and best solutioning, and get us to a healthier state. And just using ServiceNow puts us light years ahead of using other products.
Absolutely.
I think that's a great episode. Do you guys have any other comments you want to leave anybody with?
Keep your roadmaps updated. I mean, you can't let it go stagnant. I mean, that's kind of the big thing. Just because you did it once, like you said, Mike, we're constantly evolving. So
100%. Awesome. All right. Thanks for joining me, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.